What was that characteristic of him, and that political skill, was that what made him into a military leader? In other words, when you look at military leaders in history, you talk about Alexander, Hannibal, Napoleon, don't normally place, maybe they do, but I've never really heard historians place Washington in that league.
I don't think he belongs in that league as a pure military leader. And the military historians love to dissect his failures, and he had a few as a commander. The Battle of New York stands as one botch after another for a period of weeks. So what was special about Washington and was well matched to his situation was, I think, his political talent as a military leader. He had to deal with our Continental Congress. He had to deal with state governors. He had to deal with state legislatures. He had to deal with local officials, always trying to get supplies. His army was chronically underfed, undersupplied. And he spent much of the day, and of course he had to deal with his own officers. I've had a lot of military people tell me afterwards that there is nothing as political as a military establishment. So I think his political skills were essential to achieving the military outcome of victory. And, his victory was essentially outlasting the British. And it turns out when your opponent is far from home in a not obviously smart war, if you can outlast him, you probably are going to win. We've seen some pretty modern examples of that as well. And I think Washington understood that. He was not the world's great tactician. If you needed a battle plan, he would come up with one, but it might be good and it might not. But if you needed to understand the long-term strategy of how to win the war, he was very strong and he got it done. He did win. So, although people like to denigrate his military talents, he won.